Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Chasers, coming up on 8:45 p.m. here, December 29th, checking out the ridge out here that's continuing to allow systems move out of the northwest into our region, and we have another one moving in tonight. This is going to spread snow over the region from the northwest to the southeast as we go from tonight into tomorrow morning. We've got winter storm warnings up for portions of eastern Oregon and Washington, even Whatcom County. Winter weather advisories, most of the state, except for the immediate coast and some of the basin areas for eastern Washington. You can see the really cold air bottled up north over Canada here too. And we'll look into the extended a bit later on and see where that Arctic air is going to head and how much of it might come our way or not. So let's just jump right in here. You can see they've extended the winter storm warning out north of Pullman here in eastern Washington, and check out some of these temperatures. 9, 10, single digits, lower teens. The snow is going to be really dry, really light, and it's going to pile up with just small moisture amounts falling out of the sky. Some of these higher terrain areas in northeast Oregon are going to be over 6 inches, and you can see Pullman north 4 to 6 inches. Pretty significant snowstorm coming for portions of eastern Washington. So heads up there, north of Ritzville, north I-90 here, 2 to 4 inches. It's all going to be below freezing, very cold over there. So this will probably become compact snow and ice on I-90 into tomorrow morning. And you can see these winter weather advisories all the way out into Idaho. Some of these areas are going to get some pretty significant totals. You're looking at 4 to 9 inches, Dixon, Elk City, Highway 12, Lolo Pass. 2 to 5 inches, 4th of July Pass, Craigmont, Winchester, Wallace. And as we move over into Whatcom County here, you'll see 4 to 6 inches of snow tomorrow. Heavy snow expected. And it's not going to warm up there tomorrow, so anything that falls is going to stick around at least through Friday night and probably on into Saturday or Sunday for that far north. Seattle area, 1 to 4 inches expected, but some areas are going to be more snow shadowed than others. So we're going to check that out in the models to see which areas are going to see more and which might see less. Some areas of the Strait, Washington and Oregon coast are going to be left out of the snowstorm, but virtually every place else, except for some areas in the basin here of eastern Washington, are going to be seeing snow. Down towards Portland, it's a bit warmer, but they're still calling for 1 to 4 inches, mostly in the higher terrain. We'll take a look at exactly what Portland can expect coming up here. 1 to 2 inches as you get further south in the Willamette Valley. But I have a feeling in the valley it's going to be 1 to 2 inches at the very most. So let's go ahead and take a look at the models there and see what they are showing us. Let's check out the HRRR here really quick. This is kind of a composite reflectivity loop here. You can see the snow filling in tonight. It's not picking up what's going on the coast right now, and these high resolution models have been having a hard time picking up this precip as it comes in, but you can see it does fill in all locations and even brings a burst of some moderate snow through the Puget Sound here. You can kind of see the rain snow mix line here as it punches in. Expect some snow at Portland. You can see they're right on the border there though. It's getting close. And this will probably be snow later in the morning on Thursday with these convergent bands, but it's going to be interesting to see where they set up. The models have been showing this going back into Kitsap Peninsula and sliding down, and then some residual stuff continues on into the evening here too, so we're going to have to watch that. There's some northerlies coming down the Sound, and they just could cause some very subtle snow to be falling in here, which could still maintain some accumulating snow on into the evening for Thursday night. So let's see if any other models are showing that. Let's go to the NAM. Let's play out this. And you can see kind of that punch in the morning there of some moderate snow as it comes through. And then we get kind of a break. And you can see this rain snow line coming through here a bit. The NAM has not been handling this well either. It's been underplaying precipitation coverage quite a bit. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you the HRRR here. This is looking at Seattle here again. We're concentrating on Seattle for this section right here. Check out these northerlies get down the Sound about 18Z. That's what, 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And then they kind of come out of the south again. There's kind of a battle back and forth between the north and south winds here. And that's probably what's causing some of that residual convergent zone to come through there. So something to watch into tomorrow evening. And I also wanted to show you this. Check out in eastern Washington there, the Okanagan River Valley winds coming through there, pretty strong in some areas. And there's a winter weather advisory there. You might get some good blowing snow into Friday morning for portions of eastern Washington. Maybe you'll get some blizzard-like conditions actually through there. You know, it's not going to be technically a blizzard, which is, for a blizzard, you need 3 hours of 35 mile per hour winds with reduced visibility, a quarter mile. But it's going to feel like a blizzard for some people out there. The wind's going to be going pretty good with snow on the ground. And so let's go ahead and take a look at, this was her up close a little bit more. You can see the north-south battle here. So maybe some residual bands, like I said. Let's look at the European model here too and see what its winds say. So you can see the south winds going through the sound here, and then they turn back out of the north here, like the HER said, late tomorrow morning, and then they kind of turn back southerly again. There's this north-south battle going on here, and the HER was actually showing some residual convergent zone going on into early Friday morning too. So let's look at the GFS snow totals here. This is 24 hours ending Thursday afternoon. You can see Seattle 3 inches there. You can see kind of the snow shadow the GFS is painting, mostly Seattle north, southern end of Whidbey Island, Hood Canal area getting kind of shadowed there. And you can kind of see where the accumulation cuts off there, east of Aberdeen, crossing Highway 12. And you can see Portland getting in on a little bit of it. And some of this down there is probably going to be snow that it's picking up, but it's melting as it falls. So we'll see how that goes. And you can see it's showing that band of snow up past Ritzville, just east of Moses Lake there. And with those strong winds coming through the Okanagan River Valley there, you might get some nice blowing snow tomorrow night into Friday morning. And check out that heavy snow from northeast Oregon. So heads up if you're traveling east of the state, those temperatures are going to be really cold, and you're going to have blowing snow in some areas and very heavy snowfall amounts, mainly Spokane south, all the way into Idaho there. And as we play it into the future, look at the Cascades just continuing to pile up the snow. It's going to be a really good year for snowpack up there. And into the future there, you can see our next system come in. That's next week. Look at the GFS trying to paint some more snow possibilities for next week. But once the Euro starts showing something like that, then I start believing a bit or start looking into it a little more. So let's check out what the European says. So this is 24 hours ending tomorrow at 10 a.m. You can see Seattle. It looks like a bit of shadowing, similar to the GFS, North Seattle, just south of Everett, and over the Hood Canal area, South Whidbey Island, you're getting the snow shadow there. So you're getting winds off the Olympics, and again, they sink, they compress and warm, and it eats that precipitation as it falls. It evaporates it. It makes the area over there a little bit warmer, makes it a little bit tougher for accumulating snow. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on here, if this is the signal of some sloping as these winds switch northwest, or if this is just less accumulation because south winds are going to be scouring the air mass here. But then you can see Olympia is kind of highlighted as another little bit of a bullseye there going into Thursday afternoon. So good agreement with the mountains, of course. Lots of snowfall. You can see the European not really giving a lot to the Willamette Valley down there. Maybe just an inch or so. Of course, as you go east through the gorge, you're going to get much more as the temperatures drop off rapidly. And let's see what the European is showing. Of course, northeast Oregon, the really good snowfalls. Very cold temperatures over here. So the snow is going to blow around if there's any wind at all. And you can see that precipitation extending out past Ritzville towards Moses Lake there, just south of Spokane. The European is saying, watch out Spokane, you could be getting 4+ inches. And check out Idaho there, man. Just south of Priest Lake. Some really nice snowfall totals out there. Let's see what the National Weather Service is saying. So for Seattle, they were calling for less than an inch this afternoon's forecast, and now they're saying 2 to 3. It's more in line with the European model. So big surprise there, the European model. Things are trending that way. Look at Everett, 3 to 4. Mount Vernon, Bellingham, 4 to 6. No cool down coming from up there. And you can see amounts generally light over Tacoma, maybe some more downsloping. We'll have to look at that. We might as well here. Olympia, Chehalis, a good amount, 2 to 3. Cascades, of course, piling up. Portland, and you can see they upped it a little bit too for the Portland area actually too. Portland area forecast discussion, and you can see generally an inch or less as you go down south of Portland for Salem, Corvallis, Oregon. And this snow is mainly for the higher terrain, the coastal range, and lighter amounts as you go down in the Oregon Cascade, but they are going to see some snow. Here's Spokane too. They bumped up the snowfall totals also. Wilbur 2 to 3, Ritzville 3 to 4, less as you go towards Moses Lake, and very little as you're around the Yakima, the basin out here. Pasco, Walla Walla, you're going to be in the snow tomorrow. Pullman, nice snowstorm coming your way. Pretty much south of I-90 through Idaho is where their bullseye is. The European model had a little bit further north. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And this is the Pendleton National Weather Service. Big totals. I mean, I've said it a few times now, so heads up out there. This is going to be very light, dry snow that's going to pile up. With some wind gusts, you might get some blowing snowfall over there. So let's go ahead and actually look into that a bit. Let's back up. We'll look at upper air wind. We'll start at 2,500 feet and see what the European is showing here. Where are these winds going to be coming from? You see by Thursday morning, we got that good south wind blasting through the region. Then late morning, you get that switch to the north. So we're going to have to go up a little bit further. We're going to have to back out, and we're going to have to look at, we'll go to Washington, and we're going to have to see wind speeds at 5,000 feet. That's what's going to be a better example of what we can expect with the downsloping winds off the Olympics. You can see it here. And it's close to Seattle here. We've got some powerful winds coming across. And then you'll notice how they switch about there. And so maybe we'll get some downsloping here as the snow is ending and cutting off for Tacoma. But yeah, this is where the main area here for the downsloping winds are going to be. You can see these winds lighten up a bit because these winds here are sinking and it's not picking it up at 5,000 feet there. So classic Puget Sound snow eater is going to be in action there. So let's go ahead and take a look into the extended a bit here. Here is, let's do the GFS first, and then we'll make it suspenseful and go to the a little bit more reliable European model. So here goes the system now, and you can see just a little bit of Arctic air reinforcement into British Columbia there as we go into Friday. Cool down, and then we start to warm up a little bit Saturday. We're going to get onshore flow from this big system. This one is going to be well established over southeast Alaska. Strong low pressure system there. Strong southwest gradient across the surface. We're going to warm up some, at least back into the 40s. But then look at this Arctic high on the move, moving down into the Yukon, Northwest Territories. And you can see that starting to tighten its gradient up into South BC. And this starts to get interesting for Western Washington under this kind of scenario. This isn't far off from what we got last year in February when you got a huge Arctic high in place and you get a Pacific system trying to nudge its way in there and throw in moisture over a cold air mass. But this is getting out into the future here, and we have discrepancies between the European and the GFS, sadly. So let's go ahead and look at the mean of the European here. Here goes our system tonight. You can see it 1,000 millibar low over Washington. Check that thing out as it blasts into the Midwest there, and some Arctic air getting down into the Midwest. Then you'll see models have good agreement. Big deep low over the Gulf of Alaska here, Southeast Alaska. Strong onshore flow. That's going to warm up the area. Tight gradient there too. We can see some pretty gusty winds out of this. European in decent agreement as of this point, which that big Arctic high starts its plunder down towards Washington. But notice there, this low is further north. This gradient is not far enough south to give winter weather to Western Washington under a scenario like this. So it is close. So it's definitely worth watching, and these things can change easily. And this is a massive Arctic high, and this Arctic air is not going to want to stay put. That's the whole circulation of the planet. Warm air likes to go up, and the balancing act, it kicks this cold air, spreads out. It's just the entire balancing act of the planet. This will kick out eventually somewhere. Will it kick out east of the Rockies? Is it going to hang up here and let this gradient build and spill more cold air into Western Washington and Oregon? and the eastern portions of the state, or is this going to slide off, or is it going to get caught up, or will it come over water more and generate cyclogenesis and just keep us in a warm southwest flow and kind of balance itself out that way? That's yet to be seen. But hopefully you guys are liking these updates, and maybe I'll just do a live video after this too and take some Q&A and just see what you guys are thinking. And yeah, please click like and subscribe, and I'll put some updates out on Twitter tonight. And hope you guys are having a good night. Enjoy the snowfall. You know, we're going to get a warm up here in a few days, so if you're a snow lover, enjoy it, and especially for the western portions of the state. So I will see you guys on Twitter, and I'll have another video out tomorrow. So take care.